Hey, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Multifamily Investing Academy podcast with me, Charles Dobbins, your host. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Chris Prefontaine from Newport, Rhode Island. And folks, listen, I've actually been to his office. I've broken bread with the guy. He's the real deal. I know, he's got his whole family down there, so he's busting his ass, making sure that all the new grandbabies get clothes. I mean, usually last time I was down there, I was like, oh, hey, Chris, can we meet this time? Nope. Grandbaby on the way. Okay, Chris, how about this time? Nope. Another grandbaby on the way. So, geez, how's that working out for you?
It's going great. Thank you. And you got to come down. We have a new building. We bought it finally. So you got to come down and see us.
Oh, are you not in the same spot right down there in downtown beautiful Newport?
No, we bought a cool building in Middletown, not far from the where we hold our events. And we did owner financing last November.
Oh, good for you.
No banks.
Good for you. Now, I got to tell you, Chris, I've spoken to people in your program. I've watched their success. I've watched how you do it. I saw, your operations in your office, and, my daughter and her boyfriend, they're like, geez, we're thinking about maybe, flipping homes, getting in that stuff. I said, well, listen, if you're going to do it, you got to go down and see Chris Prefontaine. Like, he's going to be your coach. He's going to be the one that teaches you the ropes. So, I mean, I can't give you higher praise than that for crying out loud.
No, I appreciate it. Someone actually told me that one of your guys called me, and he was out in Ohio, and I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. Because why don't you give everybody an idea of, first off, I keep saying you're down in Newport, but that's not where you started. You actually started in what is lovingly referred to as the armpit of Massachusetts.
Close to it. Yeah. Actually next door to it.
Okay.
So I get out of it a little bit. Just quick 10,000 foot view, and you can go back to any piece, obviously, Charlie. So in 91-ish, I started building homes on infill lots. We wouldn't pay for the land. We wouldn't even pay for the construction. We would do the entire project. And then when it's all sold and the buyer cashed it out, everybody got paid. We did that till about 95-ish. 95, I bought a Realty Executives franchise, put my broker hat on for 5 years, sold that to Coldwell Banker in 2000. And then from 2000 to the lovely debacle of 08, we coached people throughout the United States and Canada, but also did our own investment properties. We thought the right way. And then in 2008, we took it on the chin and on the butt and everywhere else. And had to wind out of that for a few years. So that's how we got here today, though, and why we do everything the way we do now. So I'm thankful.
Let me tell you something. I see a whole string of new coaches out there and people telling you how to get rich fast in this business. And, you got to always ask the question, have you lived through a cycle? And if they haven't lived through a cycle yet, I'm telling you, don't believe a word they say. I mean, there's actually a guy out there, I keep talking about him, is, he says, oh, you can overpay for multifamily property because the prices just continue to go up. And I sit back and think to myself, are you freaking kidding me? I mean,
that's great for a new person to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sure. And the thing is, I think this guru is only 8 years old because he obviously didn't live through the last cycle.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you talk about it, talking to you, how bad was it for you?
Bad's an understatement rather. We had about 22 or 23 properties. I mean, it's in my book. It's on my pocket. It's not like, it's not. I'm not telling
you got to talk about it. It's real. If you don't talk about it, I mean, if all you do is tell people success stories, I mean, the reason why I'm so good at what I do is because I've lived through the bad times, and I don't want to see my students go through the bad times. And it sounds like when you said, about how you're doing it now the right way, that is exactly my tagline. Is like I teach people how to buy apartments the right way,
right?
As opposed to the way that all these gurus are out there spinning it. So how do you do it the right way?
We buy everything on terms now. We don't use banks. We just refuse to. Like this building, I didn't go to a bank. A commercial loan would have been whatever, 25, 30% down. So we buy a lease purchase. We buy owner financing. We prefer free and clear when we do that, by the way, so we can make principal-only payments. And then we buy subject to existing financing too, to try to get longer term deals. Those are the three ways, period. And we exit them all with rent to own, and started to dip our toe into owner financing them out as well, but mostly rent to own right now.
Now, what about notes? You do anything when you say seller financing when you own the house and then you seller finance it to the buyer? Do you do any of that? I had Mitch Stephen on my podcast a while back, and that's all he's ever done.
Yeah, I went up the food chain a bit from Mitch, and his teacher is Eddie.
Okay,
you want to have Eddie on your show. He's awesome. And
Eddie Speed?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I gotta get Eddie Speed. I tell you, let me just say about Eddie Speed. I did an affiliate thing with him, and I did pretty well with the affiliate thing, but not only the nice thing about that affiliate sale that I did with Eddie was I got people calling me up saying, "Hey, that stuff is really good. I'm glad you sent me that stuff." So that's
I mean, he did a cool thing very recently. I don't know when we'll be live here, but he did a seminar. He invited top producing wholesalers who don't know terms, don't know what we do. He did 2 of them, and they had to be doing like 200 units. I mean, these guys there was a guy that had $29 million a year in wholesale. I mean, these are big players in controlling the market. He invited us. So Zach and I and Nick went down, and it was interesting. And so we're starting to incorporate that to help us and our associates buy more deals, for i.e., you're free and clear and you say, look, my house is worth 300. I just need like 50 grand to move and you can pay me the rest over time. Well, that's simple to create, simple to do when you can create a note. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that relative to your question.
Interesting. All right. Now you just came out with a very titled book. Actually, the name of the book is The New Rules of Real Estate Investing. 24 out of 25 leading experts reveal their real estate secrets. Of course, I just made up that new name because you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me to be in it, so I was the 25th guy.
We'll get you in the new rules.
Okay, give me the new rules. Yeah. So tell me about the book. Tell me about the whole process of doing the book and how you came up with the idea.
Well, since we did the first one, we realized how important it is, quite frankly, for in our space, you and I, to get the authority pieces out there, the expertise pieces out there. But like our first book, we kind of exposed the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's back to your point earlier. There's just too many of these things that go out and you don't see any sob stories. And then you go, what? I don't get it. This is all rosy. And then people get disillusioned and then we get a bad rap. It's crazy. So this one takes 24, it actually includes us. So let's just say 20-ish, 21 people that have been out in the field like you and I, and they're teaching it and they're living it. There's some mindset pieces in there from Dr. Joe Vitale from The Secret. He's in there, a good friend now.
Cool.
So it's a hodgepodge of everything versus the Real Estate on Your Terms, which is just terms. Like if you wanted our niche, that's the book. If you want a nice smattering of kind of everything in there, it gives you a nice overview of the industry and you can pick your niche. I'm not so naive to think my niche or your niche is the only niche, right? So there's a bunch of different things in there, but it's a good mindset piece too. We had an editor call us. She's one of our students. And she said, I got to tell you, Chris, I didn't think I was going to like your book. She said, I read it in a plane. That thing's awesome. And that was a big compliment.
That's so cool.
She's an editor and picky.
That is so cool. I would tell you, it's you actually turned me on, and I'm still kicking around. I got to get this damn book done. It's taken me forever to get moving, and I had so many fits and starts. But it's interesting to listen to you talk. You talk the same way I do about your business as I do with my business. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The right way to do this business. I mean, it's just the same things roll off our tongue all the time because, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with, growing up in this area and, you can't be bullshitting people and you got to tell it like it is. And people see right through it. And, so let me ask you, tell me about your program. Like if I came to your seminar, which I've spoke for those of you I've spoken at in the past, and I got to tell you something, Chris, that video is out there on the internet of me talking at your event. And it was the day after I got my pilot's license, and which I'm buying a plane now, by the way. Nice.
Congrats. I was going to ask you.
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can show for those people that are not watching it on video, you're not going to be able to see what I'm just about to hold up for Chris. But now, if all goes as planned, and, we all know what it's like to buy an entity thing, but check out my plane.
Nice.
Isn't that nice?
Perfect.
Isn't that beautiful?
Perfect. You know what we did since then? I just got to throw this in there. So this is cool. So we became a member of Wheels Up, and so we can use it. But we also, when people cap out in our program, they reach their cap out. We call it with us. We take them on a one night in the private jet.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah,
I got to pay for it, but I don't have to own it.
Yeah, exactly. See, because you don't have your pilot's license,
right?
I want to be able to just jump in my plane, go wherever I want.
Because you can.
Because I can, yeah. And I right now I'm a member of a club, so I have to share it with 20 other guys. It's like using a community pool. So I got to wait until they're not using it. But that's why I want to get my own. And I can't.
Not bad though.
No. So all right. So tell me about they come to your seminar. and they say, yep, Chris, you're the man. I want to start doing what you do. Walk me through your process.
Okay, so what's interesting about our process, and you may remember this from being there, is it's a little different in that before that, like you're not a brand newbie. You can be, but most of the people in the room this year, you saw that event. Last year we did 80, and this year we'll be at like 100. We'll sell it again, like 135 right now is registered, so maybe 150. But everyone in that room, Charlie, has gone through the QLS Basic Foundation video course.
Okay.
It's a program that could be, if I was like the marketers out there and you know who they are, I could sell the thing for $9,000, chop it all up. It's $997, stupid cheap. So they got to go through that, or else they're going to feel like they got to drink with a fire hose, truly.
Yeah, yeah.
So most of them. And if they caught us last minute and they said, can I come? We say, come, of course. But most of the people. So having that as a backdrop, then they probably read the book or saw one of the books already, and now they're at the event. So now what's the next level? They can go off and do deals on their own. The year you were there, we had the same guy as last year stand up. He's a cop. He's retired now. And he stood up and said, yep, last year, 8 deals. This year, 25 deals. That's pretty cool. I don't hear from him. He has us on email support. So if they want to do that, great. If they want to do deals with us, we have 3 or 4 different levels we call associate levels, where they literally lock arms with us and we do deals with them. I mean, we get on the phone with sellers and buyers, especially when they're new, and help them do the deal. I mean, we're doing it with them. We're in the trenches, not just selling something. Say, okay, good luck.
Okay. So what does QLS stand for?
Quantum Leap Systems.
Okay. So that's okay. So we can get you as a hand-holding coach through the whole entire transaction.
Yeah. Here's why. You do it. I know you do this. So you would agree with this. In my opinion, there's a ridiculous gap. I call it the gap in the industry, where someone goes to a seminar or takes a course, and then here they do a deal. Sometimes they never even get here. It's just stupid. And this will kill you. We have 2 now in our program we have plenty that spent tens of thousands in wasted money with other people before they came. But we have 2 that did 6 figures.
Doesn't that just kill you?
No deals, though. This is the punchline.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't that kill you?
Yeah. It's amazing.
The worst thing that I hear that I cringe at every time somebody walks up to me at one of the seminars and says this, I wish I knew you before.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Gosh, I can't stand hearing that, because they're always like, I spent $40,000 with this guy, or I spent $60,000 with this guy, and you're right, they've got nothing to show for it. And it's taking the person from that basic training, all the way towards winning the war.
Yep.
And people think they can learn it in a 3-day boot camp, and you just can't. There's just too many nuances to this business that you have to just always be ready for.
Yeah, and I'm all for, look, I don't want to misrepresent this. I'm all for someone going, hey, I called Charlie, I gave him a $10,000 check, and because of that, I made 100. Or I gave Joe Schmo a $30,000 check, and because of that, I've done 5 deals and made $300,000. Cool. But if you go a whole year and you haven't made, or you can't find 5 or 10 people that did that with them, what are you doing? Yeah,
exactly. You know what? I'm having every Monday night I do a live call with all my students on a Zoom call. Everyone can dial in. This coming call this Monday, I've got 10 students right now about to close on multifamily deals.
Awesome.
And we're just having a Hall of Fame phone call where everybody's going to talk about their deal, and just to get everybody else fired up about where to find deals, how to get them financed, and everything. So it's really you just got to do it. You just got to make offers, is what I always tell people. If you're not making offers, this is nothing more than a very expensive hobby.
I love that you're doing that. One of your students that met me through you said, you and Charlie do the same thing. And we do so much together. We don't even know it. We haven't talked in a year, but we do it every Thursday night with our students. But it's cool community, because we learn too. I mean, they all get to talk, and we do it on Slack too.
Exactly. So we do, the whole point behind it. I don't know if you've read the book Tribe by Seth Godin. That's the whole reason why I started it, was to create a sense of tribe. I wanted everybody in my group to just be friends with everybody else.
Correct.
And we started off using WhatsApp, and I don't know, the jury's out. We switched over to Slack, and we're still trying to figure out which.
I love Slack. I'm the best thing. Someone told me to do it, and
really,
they answer each other's questions.
Yeah.
The community. We even named the community Wicked Smart Community.
Oh, did you? Mine's the Owner Forum. Cool. That's the name of mine. Yeah. So that is awesome. Now, listen, I got to ask you this one question that I think is crucial towards people's success. And you referenced the guy in your the cop who went from 11 to 24 in a year. I'll tell you something, Chris. I'm lying down doing my core workouts at 6:30 in the morning, and my phone rings from some Providence, Rhode Island number. I'm like, who the hell is calling me at 6:30 in the morning in Providence, Rhode Island? And then I listen to the message. It's freaking Chris Prefontaine. What's he doing up working this hard? What I want to ask you is give us a picture of the day in the life. I think it's so important that people understand that if they're looking to do what you and I do, if they're looking to get in the side of the business, they have to understand it's a business and you've got to run it like a business. So Chris, how do you run your business?
Okay. So I'll go personal and then I'll go bigger picture. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
Brief, we can go back. So I'm big on discipline. I'm big on routines. Some people aren't. I have to start my day with, I'm twice a week I'm working out. It was yesterday for me at like 3:30, 3:45 at Anytime Fitness. Just twice, because that would be killer. The other day.
Wait, hold on. Just for the whole week, you only work out twice?
No, that's for the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk, do other stuff. So the other days I want to do a yoga and a meditating, or a yoga meditating, but I'll always end each morning with journaling, even if it's 5 minutes and 3 minutes of gratitude. But it's right here,
cool.
It's right behind me. So I start my day like that every day. Now, as far as the biz, we belong to a group. I think this was pivotal for us to join 2 years ago, and great for you. I think I referred these guys to. It's called Elite Entrepreneur in Arizona, and they're a spinoff of the Infusionsoft gang, who kept getting asked, "Hey, how'd you guys go from like 3 guys in a room to 500 employees?"
Right.
So we've been with them since January of 18, and I can't tell you how valuable it's been. In the room are all different businesses. You have to be doing 1 million to get in. And then once you do 3 million, it's another group. But they're all like you. They're all struggling with, all like us. They're all struggling with hiring, firing, to the vision and the values, creating the mission statement, the vision, the values, the culture, creating the meeting flow here at the office. So we meet once a week. We do more powwows, but we do formally once a week. And then we meet an offsite every trimester. Some people do quarterly. Every trimester we take an offsite and we go over strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, game plan for the next trimester. It's very important for that meeting flow. That's how we run it.
That's awesome. All right. So that's your 30,000 foot view. Give me then you come into the office, and how many employees are you up to now? And like, what's your vision? What is your vision for your business?
Yeah. So I'll do employees first, and I'll give you that. We have myself and Nick and Zach on the property front. The two of them run all the properties now, but they have Sue as a almost full-time assistant helping them.
Okay.
And then we have Lauren, who runs all of the coaching, support, and emails, and really executive high-level assistants. And then we have a full-time and a part-time bookkeeper. So it's not an enormous team. Then we have 2 full-time VAs that we haven't met yet. 3. One of them's flying in from the Philippines to be at our next event, and we'll meet her for the first time. But she's part of our core culture.
Wait a minute. I might need to get her name, because she might be my VA, and I'll come down and meet her too, because I've never met my VAs either.
She actually, the company she was working for went out of business about 1.5 years ago, and we hired her. So she's like an employee now.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Well, it was a cool ending for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the employees. The vision is simple. So part of Elite in 18, we set the 2022 plan, and then we'll reset it. But it was to be at 125 associates around the country. We're about halfway there, active. And then that producing 1,500 transactions within that community.
Wow.
That doesn't count people go off and do it on their own.
Right.
So that's for 2022, and then we'll reset it.
100 transactions.
Students only, not us.
Yeah. Wow, that's unbelievable. I mean, and Chris, listen, I know you. I've met you. I mean, I know there's not much behind the curtain there, with Chris Prefontaine, and you're killing it. You're just like, you're I'm looking at you like, if only people knew what you and I were really like, they'd be like, hey, anybody can be successful. And now,
that's funny. And you said something really about New England and just being blunt. And I we tell people, I've heard Zach say it, we do a strategy call with people. We check their, the references. I mean, you have to apply. Like, I just don't want the person who's going to come in to dip their toe in and then have a bad experience. Oh. So we also tell them, if you can't deal with bluntness, you don't want to deal with our family.
Yeah, exactly.
We're from
that's perfect. That's perfect. I was on the phone last night with one of my clients and his attorney, because as I tell people, I'm a lawyer. I'm not your lawyer. You're going to hire a lawyer. So we're involved in a situation where the seller's trying to change the terms on the purchase and sale agreement a week before the closing. So the 3 of us get on the call, and we're kind of coming up with a strategy. And this is a woman attorney from from Tennessee, and she says, "Well, as my grandmother would say, you can catch more, more bees with honey than you can with vinegar." And I said, "Well, my grandmother has said, let's nail the bastard to the wall. Like that's what we should do." So my grandmother was an Irish Catholic from Dorchester, so that's exactly what she.
That must be cool when you get on the phone like that. Side note, as an attorney, talk, because you know what you're talking about with the other attorneys.
Yeah, and the really cool is that my students really see the value in the services that I provide, that I got them to this stage, and that I protected them every step of the way, and that the advice that their lawyer is giving them is the same exact advice that I would tell them, and their lawyer is going to help them through the the transaction. I can't, I would go out of my mind, Chris, if I had to practice law in this because first off, I'd be being sued by every bar association in the states and all 50 states because I'm only licensed in one state to practice law. And so, that's why I have, I can't represent you as your attorney. But I tell you, I love being in a deal and in the middle of a deal. Like these 10 students, if my phone rings from any one of those 10 students who are in the hunt for the deal, man, I grab it and get them taken care of right away. So it's a blast.
Boat. We do it. I love it. I mean, granted, people have different schedules, but on the weekends, Zach has my grandson and soon to be another one, so he doesn't drop everything. But on the weekends, I'm free. My kids are older, so you call me, especially if you're in a higher level program, which I have about 13 now, so they keep me busy.
Yeah. And you're also free at 6:30 in the morning because you're bothering me. While I got my face down on the rug doing my core workout, absolutely dying. I thought you were going to say that like you only do two workouts a week. Because anything more than that would just kill you. I'm like, oh yeah, brother, I feel
no, just sleep wise. I can't do that 3:30 thing. But the other days I throw a yoga in this morning. I just meditated and then journal. But I just gotta do something to keep the.
Wait a minute. When you say 3:30, you're talking in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh dear God. Oh God. What the hell is wrong with you, boy?
So yesterday it was about 3:20 or 3:30, and then I got in here by about 10:05.
Oh man, you see you're a lot younger than I am. I'm 72 years old. So that's I used to be able to do that when I was your age. So yeah, there he goes drinking his green drink. I'm sure it's green.
No, it's actually just water.
Okay, fine. Yeah. And I got the best water in the world here in my office. It cost me $13 a month. So, all right, Chris, hey, listen, when we come back, are you ready to play our game?
I'll play anything you want.
Okay. All right. The name of the game is, oh yeah, well, what about this? And I got to tell you, Chris, there's only been one person, and I think it was Mitch Steven, who actually won this game, beat me at this game, because I usually have just as bad horror stories as anybody.
Well, I'll give it a shot, but you had some practice, but I'll give it a shot.
I do. Yeah, I did. All right, here we go. When we come back, folks, from our sponsor, hey, Chris, who do you think our sponsor is?
Who do I think your sponsor is? Don't know.
It's the Multifamily Investing Academy, of course. What do you? I mean,
good deal.
Exactly.
Good idea.
Yes. All right. When we come back, Chris is going to play our game. Oh yeah. Well, what about this? So we'll be right back. And we're back. Chris, you know how the game is played. I've read you the rules. You understand what we're playing for, a big cash prize. So look at him. He's getting all up in his chair right now. Like
I got it. I'm ready.
He's ready.
You gave me a prep 2 seconds ago.
Exactly. Lay it on me, brother.
All right. So my partner and I had college property by Holy Cross. You know the school. Mm-hmm. We had 11 multifamilies at one time, just college, because we had a good system going. Quite good cash flow wise. However, one afternoon he called me. He's in the field. He's a plumber. So he'd be the guy, checking everything. And the kids were complaining about a smell. So he went over there and they weren't there. So he sawzalled the door because he got an inkling that this was sewer. Went down in the basement. There was about 1.5 feet of la poop in the basement. So he didn't want to call Board of Health. So he called me at 2 a.m. and we went over with bags on our feet, shirts wrapped around our face, bucketed everything out of there. Now it doesn't end there. He cleaned it up. He's a plumber. He snaked the line. He did all that stuff. Next night, I'm in a temporary house at my in-laws while I'm building a house. Next night, he calls me. You're not going to believe this. Just 2 inches. Not 2 feet, but 2 inches. We had to go back and do it again. On that visit, I stepped on a 2x4. The nail went through my boot. So that you get the idea. With the shirts wrapped around our face, no like filter. Just
Oh,
so we replaced the line and we got out of that. But that I'll never forget that one.
that's like, I mean, you obviously had to go right down for a tetanus shot after that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And
Yeah.
I 5 days later, I said to Kim, "What's that smell?" And she said, "It's in your nose. Like there's no smell here."
That's exactly right. That thing permeated your body for the next month. Oh, that's bad. Well, the only smell that, okay, my smell story is, okay, you know, when you have like 800 apartments, things happen.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get a dead guy. You get, I mean, and nobody checked on him for a week. And yeah. And when you go in there, oh, it is like they say in all those true crime murder mystery shows, there's a unique smell to a body. And
I never had that one.
Yep. And then it costs $1,500 there's a company that just does that type of cleaning.
Never knew that.
Hazardous. Yeah. So they come in there, $1,500.
Well, wouldn't his family do it?
Oh no! I mean, the fact that the family didn't show up for a week kind of tells you, you know, this guy didn't have much
If he
family.
even had, yeah.
Yeah, wow. This guy didn't. Yeah, I think he was like 65 years old. So, and that was bad. That was my bad thing. I would have sold the property as is if I had to go down there and clean out the shit out of the basement there, Chris. I wouldn't have done it. Would not have done it. So, kudos to you. So, his name is Chris Prefontaine. Chris, when is your next gig? When's your next event? Because I want to promote it here. Because I listen. Like I said before, with Eddie Speed's training, people gave me great reviews. I can't, you know, you are the real deal when it comes to single family house side, getting into it. I can't speak highly enough.
I appreciate it.
So what is the next gig? When can people come down and go to one of your shows?
They can come meet us on September 19 and 20 right here in Middletown, Rhode Island. It's like, 30 seconds from the Newport line.
Yep. And you fly into Providence. And
you know, if you're flying in, Providence, just go to qlsevent.com or go, Charlie, you can put it in the show notes. So
we're going to put it in the show notes. But listen, he's Middletown. If you folks don't know it, it's right next door to Newport, one of the most beautiful, fun towns in the country. So it's a great weekend. Make sure you get down there to see him. It's in September. So, the summer.
So beautiful here.
Yeah, it is perfect. Absolutely.
I'd love you to be down again and give you a few minutes, Charlie, with that crowd, if nothing else, to let them know about our relationship and get you exposure.
No, hey, count me in. I got to speak in Detroit in September, but we'll try to figure out if it can work. And then and Chris, I am not driving down to Newport. I am flying down.
That's
to Newport.
Right, Middletown Airport, right around the corner from my office.
I've already landed there. And what's the deal with the parachuters?
Constant. I bring my grandson up there. He loves it.
Chris, I'm telling you. Okay, just as we close, let me explain how this works. So I'm flying down. I fly down to Block Island. I fly down to Montauk. So I go right over Newport Airport.
Yeah.
And, you turn on the radio, listen to the traffic that's going on there. And it's a very busy airport. There's a lot of traffic. But then the weekends, you get the guy, jumpers away, Newport, Newport, look out. And they jump from 10. I'm flying through there at 2,500 feet, and they're jumping at 10,000 feet.
Wow.
So they are way up there compared to where I am. And I'll tell you something, Chris. I've never seen one. I hear them. I'm right there, and I'm looking for the parachutes. I don't see any.
Oh, we see them all the time. If you drive on East Main, you look over there, you see them.
That's crazy. It's wild. So it's a lot of fun. So I just don't want to hit one. That would not be a good day for either one of us. All right, Chris. Hey, great to see you again, and I hope to see you in September. Say hi to everybody, and we'll talk soon.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Bell. Talk to you.